Dear School of Governance, Vesalius College, class of 2022. Dear parents, dear friends, dear colleagues, dear faculty, dear staff. I would like to hereby welcome you to this beautiful venue and formally open the graduation ceremony of the bachelor class of 2022. The graduation ceremony this year is the first in a few years where we actually are able to see all of each other again. I mean, we had a fully online graduation 2 years ago. Last year, we at least could invite the students to come back and we could celebrate with them their achievements. But we're really happy to be able to have a full room again, to also be able to have the parents and the family and the friends over to celebrate with our graduates their achievements and their realizations over the last few years. We can even have a reception afterwards, which has also been quite a few years. We find ourselves here today at the beautiful premises of the Royal Library, a beautiful historic venue here in the heart of Brussels. We deemed this to be a semi-good fit because we know that all of you have probably spent more time behind your laptop over the last 2 years and a half than you did in a library. So we're finally happy to actually bring you back to a library and bring you together back with or surrounded by books and in this kind of venue as well. So at least we can close your study career with us in something that it feels a bit more comfortable than just a laptop and a computer screen. Allow me also first to thank all of our staff that made today possible. Not just today, because I think we're all very well aware of all the changes and the changing circumstances that have hit us over the last few years, which of course always requires quite a bit of work and extra dedication from quite a lot of our staff members. So I would like you to join me in thanking our events team for making this possible today, but also to thank our Office for Teaching and Learning Innovation, in particular Chris, who is here again today as well as all of your professors and program directors, because all of these people have worked a lot and very hard over the last few years to make sure that we could ensure the quality of our education. So thanks to all of you. Of course, now I said that the last few years have been rather challenging for all of us, and that our staff really came through in helping us and all of these kind of things. But I think we are all very well aware that the last few years have been mostly challenging for you, our students. The fact that you're here today and about to graduate with your bachelor degree, I think is only testament of your perseverance and your dedication over the last few years. Because we are all very well aware that the online environment requires quite a bit more discipline and quite a bit more time management than it is when you can really interact with your professor in class. At the same time, we also hope that there might be some positives about this. You will be the first generation that will graduate that has been able to actually manage all of these changes, that has been able to work online, in class, maybe back online, maybe back in class, and all the things that were in between that we had to go through over the last few years. We're sure that this will actually help you as well in navigating any kind of further challenges that will come on your path after you leave here today with your degree under your arm. Graduating in these times was not easy, but you've made it. And I think this is something that you should be extremely proud of. You're also graduating in very interesting times. It is clear that there will be a long impact of all these lockdowns on our economy, for example. So the question is, do we actually continue with this kind of digital mode that some companies still find themselves in? Will the digitalization finally take a strong foothold in any kind of company or any kind of social interaction? Or will we reverse to what we were doing before? At the same time, I think if you look outside in the world right now as well, you will also see that we have the whole Russia-Ukraine tensions and so on. And this, of course, also require quite some challenges. And this is also something that we hope you will be able to think about, and for which you can use this knowledge and the skills that you've gathered over the last few years to make sense of this, and to try to understand and to try to think about how we can navigate all these kind of challenges peacefully. We hope that you as fresh graduates will actually be able to, at some point in your career, take a leading role in solving some of these challenges. I think your generation is also rather unique in the fact that you've already lived through numerous crises. You had the financial crisis in 2008. We have the climate change challenges that are still there. We have the refugee crisis. We now have COVID pandemic and let's say a whole new Russian assertiveness in Ukraine. And I think it's pretty clear that even though that these span different issue fields, that you will be inheriting a large number of problems. However, our hope is that your generation can be the generation that actually can address some of these challenges and work and lead the way forward in addressing all of these issues. That will not be an easy task, and know that we will continue to stand by your side. Whatever you will need later on in life, we will still be there for you. Reach out, stay in touch, and if we can be of help with whatever kind of questions you have in the future, do know that our faculty and our staff will be there and will try to help you to the fullest of our capacities. As you will soon also ride off with your degree under your arm, know that it's also normal to sometimes doubt yourself. Reach out to your family and friends. These people can also really help and support you if you find yourself fighting certain issues, if you start to doubt yourself, if you're unsure about what to do. So I also think that your family and friends probably already has helped you, have supported you already quite a bit, in particular over the last few years. So I would also like the graduates to join me in thanking all of the people who might be here today, who might not be here today, but the people that you've been able to count on over the last few years. Thank you. We hope that today will allow you to celebrate your achievements. And we will we will try to keep on spurring you to try to do better in the future as well, now that you continue to study or you might even join the workforce immediately. So know that you can always reach out to any of us at any point of time whenever you need some guidance. Without further ado, I would now like to give the word to our Dean, the Dean of Vesalius College and of the Brussels School of Governance, Professor Luc Soete, who will be joining us from his house across the Dutch border. And afterwards, we will have a little video from the graduates that convey their wishes toward their family and friends who might be here today. I hope you enjoy this event.
Last day of your stay here in Brussels, even if it's been very much an online stay, I have to congratulate you of having achieved nearly impossible task, an impossible duty in terms of finishing your degree here with us at the Brussels School of Governance here at the Vrije Universiteit Brussel. And of course, I haven't seen many of you, you haven't seen me much as your dean, and nevertheless, we were all part of the same family here. Students, staff at the Brussels School of Governance, trying to help you to get through this phase of getting your graduate degree. I must congratulate you on having achieved this in these extraordinary times. I'm sure in a couple of years, possibly in decades, one will look back at this time, and you will look back at this time when you were studying in confinement, at least partially confinement, and how difficult it was, how tough it was to follow all these online lectures, to never see your teachers, your staff, etc., to not meet your friends, students, and to only be limited in terms of the way in which you could enjoy Brussels and the campus of the Vrije University of Brussels. So I'm sure you think back of this difficult period as a sort of a period which wasn't what you expected initially in terms of the social contacts you would build up, in terms of the interactions you would have with staff, with your college students, but you did it. You achieved nearly the impossible thing, that is to get a degree in an environment which was a very different one from what you expected and what was predicted at the time you went study here with us. So, apart from congratulating you, let me also insist how important it is to finish today with your degree and to have this new cohort of graduates with us. I think the world here in 2022 is a difficult one. It's one full of challenges, important challenges, political challenges, as we are witnessing today with the Russia-Ukraine story and the problems about security at the global level. It's a problem, of course, with an environmental challenge, which is coming year after year more clear and more challenging for policymakers in particular. It's a problem with respect to the pandemic we witnessed here and the way we act and policymakers respond to it, and the lack of policy response at the European level, for instance. It's an issue with respect to social policies and the increased polarization in our societies, the increased income inequalities within our societies, not to talk about, of course, the global inequalities as they emerge. It's an issue about technological out of control with respect to new technologies such as artificial intelligence, where we don't know what we can expect and what might happen in terms of these technologies controlling ourselves rather than us controlling them. In short, the world is today full of major policy challenges. And this is why I'm so delighted that you studied here at the Brussels School of Governance, because it focuses on two issues. One, on policy making and on policy implementation and on policy evaluation in terms of how policymakers will be confronted increasingly with complex issues, with issues which transgress particular disciplines, which are not just philosophical, political, economic, but also legal, which cover many other areas of levels of policy making, national, international, regional, local. And secondly, to have been in Brussels, which is still the capital of Europe and one of the most important centers of policy making in the world. So let me again congratulate you all for having achieved this in these extremely difficult circumstances. And I hope we will see you in the future again, or hopefully, possibly physically at least, in Brussels on our campus at the VUB and in the building of Brussels School of Government, and who knows elsewhere, possibly in the world. All the very best.
There was something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I'll leave no regrets. It's something to remember, so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone knows I was here. I wanna say, live each day until I die. And know that I am something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I need, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I live, I love, I was here. I did, I've done Where the sun is always out, and you never get cold, and the ship is always cold, and the music's always good, and the pretty girls just happen to stop by in the hood, and they love their pretty ass up with that pretty ass pop without a wrinkle with the day, cause there's no tomorrow, just a pretty perfect day, that's a whole lifetime, and it never ends, so we have to do this if we want, so let's stay in this moment, smoke some weed, drink some wine, reminisce, talk some shit for every young sinking mind, leave a mark we can't erase, need the space, no time, so when the director yells clap, we be fine. I'm saying forever, I wanna be forever young. Yes. Do you really want to live forever? Yes. Forever. Yes. And then sing forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Yes. Forever. Little dogs, hopping out of bars, popping up the falls, they gorgeous. Niggas thought I'm lost, they been talking boss. I be talking bullshit, they nauseous. I be here with number, you know I'm on my bullshit. I ain't with the bullshit, I put the ball in, let's the ball bounce. We be breaking colors, we just get a whistle, just a pen, you can call it. Young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Yes. Forever. Yes. Sing. Forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Yeah. Forever. It's your turn, guys. Sing. Whoa. Yeah. Yes. Sing. One more last time for the last night. Sing.
That was beautiful. I have the honor of introducing our commencement speaker for this year, Sarah Lemmens. Sarah Lemmens studied musicology in philosophical academy at the Katholieke Universiteit Leuven. She started her professional career as a researcher at the Allemeyer Foundation, the International Center for the Study of Music in the Low Countries. In 2004, Sarah started to work at the Royal Library of Belgium, where we are. where she was the head of the music department for a few months, and she then switched over to the communications department. Yes. In 2013, she became the support services director of KBR and was responsible for managing and coordinating budget and finance, facilities, human resources, ICT, prevention, and well-being, full package. She also took on digitization and public services under her wing. And since the 1st of May 2017, she has been the general director ad interim of the KBR, responsible for the general management of the institution and its representation in Belgium and abroad. Sarah Lemmens, I invite you to the stage. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, once again, welcome in KBR, where time is treasured. I'm very honored to stand here in front of you on this really important day. Before sharing a few experiences, I would like to present some facts and figures for those of you who are not familiar with KBR. What is KBR? KBR is the Royal Library of Belgium, or the National Library. It is a federal scientific institution that belongs to the Belgian Science Policy Department. I'm not doing it myself, so I have to check from time to time. It's okay, thank you. We have 260 passionate people working here. Librarians and researchers, of course, but also technicians, IT specialists, book restorers, or stack attendants, to only name a few. They all work in this fantastic building at Mont des Arts, in the heart of the capital of Europe. We are surrounded by several other cultural and heritage institutions. We're next to the Brussels Central Station and close to a lot of tourist attractions. You can't say library without saying books. And there are plenty of those here, of course, but there's much more. We keep no less than 8 million physical documents, and that number increases every day. Thanks to the legal deposit, which obliges anyone who publishes anything to deposit their work with us, we receive no less than 30,000 new publications every year. So you can safely say that we are the literary memory of the country. In addition to our contemporary books and collections, we also keep a rich historical collection consisting of documents of different types, different periods. Here are just a few examples to give you an idea. This is an autographic manuscript from Johann Sebastian Bach, for example. This is the eldest map that's known of Brussels, 16th century. And we skipped the first one, I think. This is the eldest document in our collections. It's a dagger of the pharaoh Kamose, 16th century before Christ, just to give you an idea. In addition to our physical collections, we also manage an ever-growing digital collection. There are the collection items that we digitize ourselves, but also digital sources that we offer to our users, such as online databases, e-books, and e-journals. Who comes to KBR? The past 2 years, during the pandemic, the numbers were, of course, a little lower than usual, but we have on average about 100,000 visitors per year. Among them are students who come here to study. Maybe you have been here too. I hope that you didn't get traumatized. But we also cater to researchers that use our collections, and to culture lovers who visit an exhibition, a concert or a workshop, and to business people who attend a conference in one of our meeting rooms. An estimated 250,000 visitors make use of our data and online services. What do we do actually with all that collections and with that audience? Well, our mission is still the same as it was in 1837 when KBR was founded. Preserve our collections, complete them, study them, and valorize them. Today, of course, the context in which we carry out this mission is completely different than it was in 1837. In 2022, and I'm not the first one to talk about it, the world seems to have become just a little bit more complex, and we face other challenges. KBR must also keep up with the times. KBR must evolve. When I started as director 5 years ago, an outsider said to me that I was embarking on an impossible task, that KBR was like a gigantic tank ship, barely allowing anyone to change its course. Like you, I had an academic background and I had a bit of experience, but this was still a serious challenge. How does one do that in this day and age? Valorize heritage, be relevant as a library, contribute to society, involve people, reach a diverse audience. I would like to explain how we at KBR have tackled these questions. For this, I want to refer to the Faro Convention on the value of cultural heritage to society, which, by the way, was ratified by Belgium 2 weeks ago. Important thing. The convention states that every human being has the right to participate in cultural life and that the right to knowledge is also a basic right. In this vision, the focus is really on the human being. The importance of cultural heritage is not so much to do with the collection or the object itself, but with the use people make of it and the meaning and values they attach to it. And this is a vision that I share and that I'm happy to propagate further, but for which we had to make a real mind shift here at KBR. Our collection obviously deserves all the attention and care it needs, but we really needed to also view things more from the user's perspective and ask ourselves what social contribution we can make and how we can be and remain relevant. Society is evolving at a rapid pace. Every day there are new technological developments and the user's needs and wishes change accordingly. For a large tank ship, it's not easy to evolve at the same pace. The most important thing we've done in recent years is to talk and listen to a great many people. We tried, and we still try to do that today, to keep our finger on the pulse. Listen to our staff, to our visitors, to our stakeholders, to our partners, but also to non-users. And this, I can tell you, was really a very interesting exercise. To hear from people who do not use our offer or our services or do not come to this building, why they don't, and if we can be of service to them. Is it because they don't know KBR? Is it because they don't need us? Or are we not doing our job properly, maybe? As it turned out, there was, of course, a large group of people who just want us to put as much information online as possible, as quickly as possible. They are not interested in what we do here in this building in Brussels. They just want to be able to consult our collections, data and information remotely, whenever and wherever they want. That is why for several years we have been firmly committed to expanding our digital offer and the corresponding services. We are making the collections easy to find for every citizen worldwide, usable and reusable online in the form of images, text and data. That's how we facilitate access to knowledge. But there's also a large number of people, perhaps even more than before the pandemic, who yearn to meet, to share, to interact. In my opinion, it is when people come together and talk to each other that beautiful and interesting things happen. We believe that our institution has an important role to play here, which is why we attach great importance not only to the online world, but also to the physical place. In recent years, for example, we have refurbished our welcome and exhibition spaces and opened a museum dedicated to the manuscripts of the Dukes of Burgundy. Currently, we're working on the reading room of the future. This should become a space where people can find a quiet place in the middle of this busy city, a place where they can read, learn, study, or work, but also a place where they can meet each other, meet our experts, and exchange ideas. Brussels is a metropolis that is filled with heritage. It's also a city filled with citizens that have very different origins and cultural backgrounds. A particularly interesting context, of course, but also a big challenge for institutions like ours. In our strategy, we've written down that we will put the user at the center of everything we do, and that we will always aim for maximizing accessibility, inclusion, and diversity. In addition, and this is a common thread running through everything we do, we want to play a connecting role at the National Library and work together. Alone you go fast, together you go further. In recent years, we have invested heavily in networking and cooperation on different levels. We play an active role in our sector organizations, such as the Conference of European National Libraries, the Association of European Research Libraries, or the International Federation of Library Associations, which is a worldwide network. But we also work with many other heritage organizations and institutions, such as archives or museums, also with the tourism sector and with local partners. Universities are also very important partners for us. We are a scientific institution, so we work together on research projects. Just one example, currently we're working with ULB on a long-term research project on the history of Belgian press. A very fascinating subject that has been very little studied so far. We also find each other outside of research projects. For example, in the context of WeConnect, we have become a Brussels City campus for the VUB since this academic year. The aim is to create more links between students and the city, between students and art, heritage and science. Throughout the year, professors have been coming to KBR with their students to teach, to organize workshops and hold debates, often using our collections and resources. Wonderful project and collaboration. If we managed to change the course of the tank ship, I really don't like to call the library the tank ship, but it's a good image, to open the doors of this wonderful institution, then it is because we put people and their needs and wishes at the center of our reflections and activities, and because we invested a lot in partnerships and cooperation. For me, these were the keys to our success. Sometimes we have gone a bit in all directions, but it is precisely through the diverse programming that we could reach a diverse audience. And that is also what we want to keep doing in the years to come, bringing people together and contributing to the democratic foundations of an increasingly digital society by providing citizens with reliable and sustainable information online, but also by opening our doors here in the heart of Brussels for everyone. To conclude, I would like to share a little anecdote with you as a takeaway from this day to take with you on your journey. It has been very useful for me in recent years. When I became the director of these beautiful institutions 5 years ago, a few colleagues and I went to visit several other institutions to gain inspiration and to exchange ideas. We also visited the National Library of the Netherlands. Lily, my fellow director, enthusiastically explained me all the projects they were working on, and it soon became clear that in some areas they were already way ahead of us. My heart sank a bit and I told her that we hadn't got that far yet, that we first have to fix this and this and this before we could ever start projects like hers. She interrupted me and said, "Sarah, you have to walk across the bridge while you're still building it, otherwise it won't work." I wouldn't have walked over the bridge on my own when it wasn't finished yet, for fear of falling off, but I thought of Lily many times and walked over the bridge anyway. And that is what I would like to end with today. A little message for the students. Walk over that bridge. Dare. Do. Fall down. Get up again. Bring people together, and then beautiful things will surely happen. I wish you a very pleasant afternoon in KBR. Congratulations on your graduation, and please know that you're always welcome here in KBR. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I think indeed it's a very good lesson for all of our soon-to-be graduates to take on board as they progress throughout life. Speaking of which, I think we came to the moment that probably most of you have been waiting for quite a while, sometimes even more than 3 years for some of you. So we'll start with the official conferment of the degrees right now. Please, for all of the graduates, put your tassel to the left, and when you receive your degree, you can switch it yourself to the right. So, it is my task to convey that the Student Academic Standing Committee has conferred that each of the graduates here today has fulfilled all academic requirements needed for the awarding of their respective degrees. We will award the degrees by major. We'll start with the Global Business and Entrepreneurship major. I will first announce the students who are following online. Then afterwards, I will call out the names one by one. So if your name is called out, please come to the stage. You can come on that side and then you can leave that side. So we try to minimize, let's say, the traffic jams that might otherwise occur here on stage. So I will start with the Global Business and Entrepreneurship students. Okay, now. Ahmed Mishba. Arnaud de Spirlet-Lamarche. Now I'll move to the Global Business Entrepreneurship students that are here in the room. Dina Asum, summa cum laude. Camilla Bianchi, cum laude. Manuel Bolognesi, summa cum laude. Ornella Kammermans. Flore Gestin. Benjamin Guillot. Mana Hirako, magna cum laude. David Janssen, cum laude. Artus Janssens van der Malen, magna cum laude. Arich Kakatarian. Clara Levy. Maxime Mestag. Alexander Newson. Eugenia Olavaria Meda. Justine Pedretti. Dylan Sears. Pierre Valdevisio. Summa cum laude. Now I will move on to the BA in Communication and Public Relations. I will yet again start with the online students. Sean Dunn.
Hello, thank you.
We made it. Congratulations, Sean. Radu Kojokari. Racine Koet. Sarah Niklasson, magna cum laude. Now we will move on to the Bachelor in International Affairs. Rachele Serralo, summa cum laude. Anas Gibet. Henri Doré de Lantermagne couldn't be here today. His sister was getting married, but okay. Congratulations. Ana Estopa Gomez. Cum laude. Milena Falatova. Yeah, the next student, sadly enough, his plane was delayed. So I will already announce him right now, but if he were to still be able to make it before the end of the ceremony, I will come to the stage again. But otherwise, I might just forget to call out his name, and then he actually doesn't deserve to get a degree and so on. So already, to be sure, I would already call out his name, but I hope that Christophe can join us in a little bit. Christophe Lotka, summa cum laude. Natalia Orguin Montemacor. Sabina Rodriguez Garcia. Congratulations. Alexander Wolter. Now I will move on to the Bachelor in International and European Law. Yet again, I will start with the students who sadly enough could not make it here today. So I will start with Nazanin Samimi Darsikolai. Jean de Favero de Généret. Audrey Anna de Camp. Lauren Kolinsky. Etienne Marais, summa cum laude. And then the last one of the class of 2022, Luna van Lent.
So good afternoon. It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce to you the Valedictorians of 2022. And you heard me indeed speak in the plural because we have two valedictorians, both from the program Global Business and Entrepreneurship, by the way. So kudos for the program, right? Yeah, so how come that we have two valedictorians? Well, basically, their GPA was so close, it was just a difference of 0.04 that it seemed a bit silly not to consider that. And both students concerned were very happy to share both the honor and the speech. So we were happy to go along with that. So now, as I didn't know either of the students, because I'm from the director of the program, International and European Law, I asked around a little bit, and I asked Tom Bitox, you all know very well now, the transcripts of the students to see whether something stuck out. Now, when you look at the transcripts of Pierre Valdivieso and Dina Assoum, they're actually quite boring. They're all A's. So if anything sticks out, it's the occasional B+, imagine. No? So it will come as no surprise that both students in each term always were on the dean's list to mark their academic excellence. And when you ask for general, descriptions of the students, you hear, oh, they're very motivated, they're very smart and very dedicated and, committed to reach their goals. So, picture becomes quite clear. A few things separately. So I heard from Pierre, for example, that he was amazing in the capstone course. And the students will know that capstone is a very special course for Vesalius College. It's unique to the college. And it is actually a course in which students need to integrate all their knowledge and their skills. And so in terms of the business entrepreneurship program, it is they make a business plan that they then need to defend in front of a jury of professionals. So if you are amazing at that, sorry, my voice is leaving me, you obviously have done a great job at mastering the program. For Dina, I was told that she wasn't only exceptional in terms of academic excellence, but that she was also really good in terms of organizational skills and leadership qualities, which came out in the multiple extracurricular activities that she undertook. For example, she was president of the Corporate Women Association. So in short, both of these students, both of the valedictorians, made their mark at Vesalius College, and we're sure they're going to make their mark as well in their future careers. So congratulations. I would now like to invite both of the valedictorians for their speech. We're looking very much forward to listening what they have to say.
Pierre Valdivieso, and I'm this year's valedictorian.
And as Kristen said, I'm Dina Assum, and I'm also your valedictorian.
Yeah, so we're very honored to be standing in front of you today, representing our graduating class of 2020.
We'd like to thank all of those with us here today, those of us who are joining us online, as well as those who couldn't make it but are with us here in spirit.
We'd like to thank the college for bringing diversity into our education and for allowing us this opportunity to share the stage.
To exemplify the values and missions of this establishment, not only through words, but through action. Which we now commonly refer to as the Brussels School of Governance.
Isn't it great to not having to lie about knowing who Vesalius is anymore?
And we actually did a little bit of research, and we learned that Vesalius was a Brussels-born anatomist, physician, and author of one of the most influential books on human anatomy in the 16th century.
So now you know, like, no more excuses, guys. So yeah, it's really an honor to be able to make this speech in front of such a large crowd, and we consider ourselves extremely lucky to have a graduation in person as opposed to the previous year. So yeah, with our families, friends, and loved ones in attendance. So thank you all for being here.
And just a small reminder, now that the pandemic is almost behind us, we'd like to remind you that for those of you who get a little bit bored or fall asleep, that you no longer have a mask to hide behind. So
yeah, we'll be watching you. Careful.
In all honesty, it's an honor to see all your smiling faces here today, the graduates, the families, professors, and everyone else, even online who we can't see.
So yeah, on behalf of the graduating class, we thank you all. Thank you to the graduates' families, whether they're close or distant. We supported them in many ways throughout these past 3 years for most of us.
And also, we'd like to thank every single one of our professors and advisors, as well as the staff who shared their knowledge, time, and passion with us, and helped direct us individually towards our career paths and aspirations. We would like to mention a few in particular.
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank the Vice Dean Sven for always being understanding, flexible, and available to give us advice and direction whenever needed. So thank you for that.
I'd also like to give a special mention to Professor Jordi Ballard for being the reason that we both have our minors in finance.
Thank you.
And also for teaching us that with a kind heart and a little bit of comedic relief, that's even the most challenging classes can be amazing. So thank you.
Yeah. Another professor we'd like to thank is Professor Bernard, just for pushing the creatives within us and encouraging us to find stories and narratives that guide our presentations, assignments, and essays. So with Professor Bernard, we learned that every topic, no matter how dry, because sometimes they're pretty dry, like every topic is worth bearing a good story. So thank you for that.
And finally, he's been thanked before, but thank you to Chris for being the lifeline of this college, and for both the students and for the professors, always sharing the Wi-Fi password.
And free access to the printers.
And our academic careers wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. So thank you.
We have a fan.
We have a fan.
So now we just like to take a moment to thank our families individually, families and friends. So merci maman, papa pour toute la façon dont vous m'avez soutenu durant ces 21 dernières années. Merci de toujours avoir eu mes meilleurs intérêts à cœur. Un grand merci à mon frère et ma sœur, Arthur et Charlotte, mes grands-parents, mes amis, et plein d'autres. So yeah, and then a sincere thank you to everyone who helped me get here. Thank you for guiding me and helping me grow as a person. Some of you I known for years, but some of you I've also only known for a semester. And these have often been some of the most impactful ones too. So I'm also looking forward to meeting new people, learning new things, seeing new things, and growing alongside them and being the best version of myself. So thank you, everyone.
As for me, I'd like to thank all my friends and family who are with me here today, but also not here with me today. Thank you for being the most amazing support system, and thank you for being there to guide me whenever needed. To especially my best friends, my brothers, Mehdi, Ali, and Brahim, who all came here today. Thank you for being the most amazing role models that a little sister could ask for. I'm the proudest little sister to have you guys as people to look up to. And وأخيرا أشكر أمي وأبي لكم كل الشكر وكل شيء الذي أفعله اليوم بسببكم، وأنتم حياتي وقلبي وكل سعادتي. So, for both of us, it's only because of these amazing people that we thank today and their support that we're able to be standing in front of you today. So once again, thank you all.
Yeah, thank you to everyone. So I guess just thank them too, because of them you get to hear us. So these 3 years at Vesalius were quite a journey. Everything started out pretty conventionally, but little did we know what we had in store for us.
Little did we know what February 2020 had coming for us.
Yeah, business law, that B+ that you heard about.
That was the only class that my brothers, who are also alumni, warned me about. So the pressure was on.
Yeah, but on a serious note, though, the pandemic early on really tested our resilience and ability to adapt. So changing our university experience in ways that we could not even have imagined starting this. We got to experience both online and physical classes.
We experienced the struggles of learning how to work big blue button, coming up with excuses to not turn on our cameras at 8 a.m. And our shock at knowing that our professors can hear our conversations without actually joining the breakout room.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So through all this, our spirits remained high and our bonds grew closer.
This was really a group effort that each of us can take pride in. And then, so one of the main assets of Vesalius College is really the personalized educational experience. We'll say it over and over again. Through the offering of small classes and interactive teaching, we really learned a lot. And we're conscious this is a very rare quality to have in a university. And we're immensely grateful for it. As it truly helped us grow, it initiated connections, discussions, and really pushed us to think critically throughout our 3 years here.
And our students' body hails from different backgrounds and cultures, which allowed us to really build an international and multicultural community amongst ourselves. And this not only enriched our personal connections, but really made our learning experience more valuable and profound. It allowed us to broaden the scope of our learning and really turn it into a global perspective. And not to forget that our small classes allowed us to really form friendships, bonds with our professors, engage in debates and participate as we wish. And it also allowed us accessibility to both our faculty and professors, which you can't really find elsewhere.
Our experience at Vesalius really quickly transcended the academic. Early on, we formed close bonds with our peers that will last for years beyond these college years. And we're both extremely grateful for the elite friendships as they kept us serene, centered, and feeling a part of a bigger community. A community that we really created amongst ourselves. We not only supported each other, but also drove each other and competed against each other to push past our weaknesses and reach beyond our limits. So this is really something that we should look at and cherish as we keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And looking back at our last 3 years, we can't wait to see what the future holds for us, but also for you, the graduates. And we appreciate how far we've come and how much we've all grown. The last 3 years have been crucial to both our personal and intellectual development, both academically and personally. They're more impactful and formative than we ever could have imagined when we first started the program.
They taught us that no matter how grim the situation may seem, you can always find a way to progress and continue moving forward. They have taught us that once a group of people comes together towards a common cause, cooperating and sharing ideas, greatness can truly be achieved.
And growing forward, our ability to surpass the challenges we faced both inside and outside of school is an accomplishment that we should hold dear to our hearts and use to propel us towards our future careers and aspirations.
As an accomplishment that allows us to be hopeful for the future, to continue to think big, think outside the box, aspire for a better future for ourselves and for those who will come after us. Although today represents our last official day as university students, it also serves as a starting point for the rest of our lives in our academic and professional careers. As we turn the page onto this new chapter, it's our responsibility to embrace the journey we've been on together and really think that the best is yet to come.
Yeah, and today marks that our love for one another will transcend the distance that will come between us, and that no matter where we end up, we'll always be the Vesalius College graduating class of 2022.
And there are many things we'll miss from our time at Vesalius. Just here are some of them.
Our long talks at the door after class.
The group calls and group chats during the online classes.
The trips to the vending machines and gas station morning class.
Yeah, the pre-exam hype-up calls.
And the post-exam wind-down calls.
Yeah, we'll miss seeing you all every day, but we know this is really only the beginning of our friendship, so thank you all.
Absolutely. And this graduating class of 2022 is not only made of business, law, communications, and international affairs students, but this graduating class is made up of diverse talents, mindsets, hopes, dreams, and ambition.
Yeah, we only wish that we all continue to aim high.
So, my fellow graduates, we are in our prime.
Yeah, these are the years for us to fail, to pursue those dreams and passion that we always set to the side.
And to turn our dreams into goals and to chase them.
Now is our chance to stand up for the issues that matter most to us.
For equality, for inclusivity,
and the appreciation of diversity in every individual's uniqueness.
So to my fellow graduates and the audience,
now is the time to take risks.
And now is the time to take your leap of faith.
Thank you.
That's good.
Did you guys seriously have group calls during class? It seems to me that you have managed to both go. It's beautiful to see that. All right. I have the pleasure of introducing a second speaker today, Dr. Bingen. And Dr. Bingen is the founder and first dean of Vesalius College. And he will be talking to us about a fund that his late spouse, Andre, and Frans set up. So the VUB Andre and Frans Bingen Fund was established to offer senior scholarship awards and honors prizes, that's the thesis prize, to help talented students who study at the VUB-affiliated Vesalius College, Brussels School of Governance, finance for their future studies. Dr. Bingen's generosity is greatly appreciated by all concerned. Dr. Bingen, the floor is yours.
Dear audience, and in the first place, since it's your ceremony today, dear graduates, I want to congratulate you that you came to the end of these studies and that you can start in life. Last year I ended my introduction with, "Let us hope that next year we will meet as usual," and end the ceremony with joyful dance. Except for joyful dance, my wish is fulfilled. For the dance, you'll have to wait to the end of the reception, maybe a little more. My wife, André, made me often the remark that some VICO students needed assistance to attend the college. So we decided to create the André Bingen Scholarship for Senior Students, helping them for one semester. Let us hope that in the future its amount will be raised. This year, for the fall, the scholarship was granted to Christoph Lotka, but I hear that he's not present. He just arrived. Okay. And for the spring, Etienne Marais. Despite the constraints of studying and being involved in several activities at VICO and BSOG, you manage your studies and other activities remarkably well. You took a wide variety of tasks supporting the day-to-day activities of the college as student representative at the BSOG Executive Committee and other instances. You take all these tasks up thanks to your very positive and proactive approach to work, demonstrating substantial personal initiatives, drive, and dedication. As a student, you went further than what was asked. You excelled in preparation, dedication, and methodological skills. With your intercultural skills, you are highly confident in an international environment. There again, your studies combined a steady flow of high grades. You are generally much appreciated and loved by fellow students and teaching staff. You are always willing to provide assistance to fellow students, chiefly those with a disability, the constructive feedback sessions at the end of courses. During 2 years, you were always ready to give as student year representative constructive input for the improvement of the BA in Law program. You have also an active part in the additional orientation sessions organized for the law students. With Christoph, and together you run, as the pandemic hit, the Virtual Student Committee as student ambassadors. Congratulations to both of you. Kelly, Franz Bingen Honors Thesis Prize 2022 for your essay on Boko Haram and the Feminization of Terror, Understanding Decision-Making in Terrorist Groups. It was judged to best of many essays, several of which were outstanding. Let me congratulate you for this performance. Best students interested in security issues such as counterterrorism and arms control. For the time being to Central Africa. In northern Nigeria, Boko Haram organized uprisings in northeastern Nigeria, the poorest part of the country. The terrorist group used women as suicide bombers. The factors that influenced Boko Haram's tactical drift towards such a cruel form of terrorism, to say the least. Level approach to the problem. Obviously, could not be finalized in 30 pages. So we have already gathered a lot of interesting ideas for your master thesis. For the for the prize. I don't know where it is. With all my heart, Louise bound me all the information I requested within short notice. Wishes to all of you, and especially to Christophe, Etienne, and Rahel. Thank you.
We had a video from the faculty and staff who could not attend this event today.
I'd like to congratulate you on this event that you've all been working so hard to achieve. I wish you a happy and fulfilling future and a wonderful life.
Dear students, congratulations, you made it. I'm really proud of you, and I hope that at the crossroads of science and politics here in Brussels, we are going to meet soon at conferences and research projects and whatever is out there. Congrats.
Congratulations on great achievements. It's really great to see that all the hard work is finally paying off. And of course, now that we have achieved this milestone, all that's really left for me to say is congrats and good luck in the next steps in your careers. Bye-bye.
Congratulations on your graduation. I'm sure today will be only the first of many proud, successful moments for you. Can't wait to see where life will take you next. I'm sorry we could not meet in person this semester, but I hope and I'm sure our path will cross again. Well done to all of you.
I think I have to disappoint you. There is one more quiz that you still have to take. And the questions for that quiz are not going to be written by my colleagues or me. The life is going to write them. And the differences between the tests and quizzes and exams and essays that you have to write while you are here, and the questions that the real life may ask you, is that the real life questions do not always have answers. That you're fantastic. Answering them and figuring out how to go about that on your own. And we always look forward to hearing from you. And if you need some help, you know where to find us. Congratulations, good luck, and don't become a stranger. Bye.
See me here again means that you can slowly start relaxing and so on. It means that we will soon go to the reception. So I would also like to start with some more practical things for after I finish my last words. We would like the graduates to follow the faculty outside. We will take some more pictures outside, especially with the brilliant weather that we have. At the same time, all of the guests, the family and the friends here, you can already go to the reception, which will take place across the hallway here, but there will also be people to guide you if there's a need for assistance. I would also like to start with some, let's say, a bit more saddening news. I mean, Frank Billingsley, who has been a program director of our BA in Global Business and Entrepreneurship, and also the director of our foundation program. He was not able to be here today as he's ill. That's also why he was not here to hand out the degrees. He will also leave Vesalius College after more than a decade of service and will return to the United States to take up a new professional challenge over there. We would like to thank him very much for all the work and all of the efforts over the past years. And I think his contributions were manifold. I think we can mostly remember him as a very energetic and supportive teacher, and I hope most of you here have fond memories of him. We're saddened that we see him leave the school, but at the same time, we also wish him all the best in his future endeavors. I think he might be following this online, so I would like all of you to join me in thanking him by this way. Thank you, Frank. Now, shall we? Okay. Christophe, I mean, you were not here before when we went through the, let's say, the list of students, but I think you also still deserve to be called out as well. So, Christophe Lotka, summa cum laude. So as we slowly come towards the end of this event, the time has come for you now to join a most distinguished community, the community of Vesalius College alumni. This community will be yours for life. Like you will stand with other graduates who will challenge the world and be successful beyond your own dreams. I know that you carry fond memories of Vesalius College as you begin your new journey, or at least I hope so. Know that even though you might be leaving us today, you do not leave us behind. We have changed your lives. I've personally seen all of you grow and develop over the last few years. I've seen the resilience, the commitment, the dedication, and the unique Vesalius College spirit in all of you. This spirit will continue to live on within yourself now that you become a VICO alumni. We had, for example, a great alumni event last Saturday here at the Hilton in Brussels. And of course, we hope to see you there for the next iteration of such kind of events. We know that your educational experience might have been different, but we also do know that you are ready. You are prepared to take a next giant step in your career up to the new chapter. I have no doubt about that, and I have no doubt that you will be extremely successful. And I'm backed in that belief by all of our faculty and the commitment towards you. As you go forward today, I leave you with this. VICO is not just a school, it's a movement. And today it will carry you forward. May you also make that movement your own. Graduates, yours has been an extraordinary and unprecedented experience that also calls for extraordinary and unprecedented celebrations. And I really hope you can make the most of it. Vesalius College, class of 2022, class dismissed. Congratulations. So if all the graduates can please follow.
family and friends. Hi, may I have your attention? For you, the reception is opened. So if you want to go to the reception, it's on the room on your right. So please enjoy a nice drink to celebrate.
Why do you need the Wi-Fi here? Why do you need it? Huh? Oh. Well, it's the grandma who needs the. Why do they need a wheelchair now? Is it reception here? Yeah, afterwards. So we guide the